Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts on the new Netflix interactive episode Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Hidden Adventure. I would have uploaded my thoughts the other day, but the problem was Bendy and the Dark Revival came out at around the same time, and I wanted to cover that. So I know it's a little late, but here is my review. Before we start the review, if you end up enjoying this video, be sure to whack a like on the videos, subscribe for more if you haven't already, ring the bell, enable notifications, follow the other social medias, and if you want to go the extra mile, you can become a channel member. Now with that out of the way, let's get on with the review. Now the fact that this episode takes place on Nublar, and it's in the continuity where Limbo and Chaos are still alive but Grimm isn't, I'm guessing this takes place between Season 2 and Season 3. Either that, or it completely ignores the events of the series altogether. What makes Hidden Adventure unique from the entire Camp Cretaceous series is the fact that it's an interactive episode, meaning you get to choose what happens to the characters. So the premise is, there's this guy who's basically a friend of Owen Grady, who basically had a feeling something bad was about to happen to Jurassic World. So he stole a lot of food from a convenience store and stored it in this bunker just in case anything were to happen, so then his friend Owen Grady could find it if anything did happen. Now that was back in 2015. Jump forward to a few months later, and now the campers are looking for that stash. What happens to the characters in the story depends on the choices you make. Now, I only went through 2 different scenarios, and each involved the final battle in some way, shape, and form. You'll be forced to make many decisions throughout the episode, but the main decision, probably the most important one, is the one where you have to choose either Main Street or the Sanctuary, because what happens in the final battle depends on that decision. If you decide to go to Main Street to find the map, then Rexy will fight the Tarbosaurus in the final battle. But if you decide to go to the Security, then Toro will fight the Tarbosaurus in the final battle. There will be some decisions that you decide to make that will end up in either one of the campers or all of them getting killed in some way, shape, and form. And if that happens, Mr. DNA will be like, oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen, and he basically starts roasting the hell out of you. And I got very annoyed by that very quickly. So I'm just like, oh, shut up, and I just restarted the segment I was on. An example of a decision that if you make wrong, then it will lead to your death is the decision where you have to enter a code to get into the bunker. I'm not going to tell you the code just in case you want to do the interactive episode yourself, but what I will tell you is that it's the same one every time. It would have been very interesting if it changed each time, because, sometimes with interactive episodes they tend to change just to keep you guessing, but I don't know. Now with the premise out of the way, let's talk about the characters. All 6 campers, which include Darius, Brooklyn, Kenji, Ben, Sam, and Yaz, are all the same characters that we knew and loved throughout the series. There's also a character with the initials HB, who is apparently a friend of Owen Grady, who only appears in camera footage. The episode begins with Darius waking up in a mysterious nest and has this smell of rotten eggs. And apparently there are eggs. He gets attacked by a Monolophosaurus, but it doesn't last long, for it gets captured by something bigger. Darius manages to escape the dinosaur, and now that same dinosaur is on a relentless pursuit to try and catch him. The dinosaur in question turns out to be a Tarbosaurus, a smaller relative of the Tyrannosaurus Rex that was discovered in Asia. Out of all the dinosaurs that appeared in this interactive episode, the Tarbosaurus is the one that I have the biggest issue with. 1, it's basically a remodeled T-Rex, and 2, I'm not really too much of a fan of the sounds that it makes. I don't really understand the clicking noises that the Tarbosaurus makes when it growls, and when it roars, it kind of sounds like a lower-pitched version of the Scorpius Rex. It even has spikes all over its back, which makes me wonder if Tarbosaurus was used in the creation of Scorpius Rex. However, I do like the color scheme that they chose with this Tarbosaurus, and even though it's just a copied and pasted T-Rex, it's actually kind of a scary looking villain in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of the Primal Carnage T-Rex, except with spikes. I do feel like the interactive episode would have been more interesting if it was a Carcharodontosaurus, because at least it would have looked different from the other carnivores. Hell, maybe they could have taken some inspiration from the Jurassic World Evolution Carcharodontosaurus. With that said, I hope Jurassic World Evolution ends up making the Tarbosaurus in their game, for that would be a welcome addition to the game, and that Mattel decides to make a bigger Tarbosaurus to accommodate with Camp Cretaceous. Despite the issues I have with Tarbosaurus, it's always nice to see another giant carnivore enter the franchise. Also, most of the episode consists of the human characters fighting and bickering, with Kenji usually being against the idea of risking their lives to get food, while someone like Brooklyn is for the idea. And they all start arguing, and it ends up being up to Darius to make the decisions. Now, the best part is probably the final battle between Tarbo and Rexy. Tarbo and Toro is still a good final battle too, but it's not nearly as epic as Rexy fighting Tarbo. Overall, I feel like they could have done a lot more. Maybe make it into like a movie instead of an interactive episode. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but I don't know. The interactive episode, there could have been a lot more done with it, in my opinion anyway. But to those of you that have seen it already, what are your thoughts on Hidden Adventure? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. So long!